So thank you so much for joining Alex Madiba show. Alex Madiba, as usual. I'm here with a friend, of course, Frank himself. Tumekuwa tukiangalia mambo ya biashara sana, but today I want us to look at one of the social issues ya alcoholism. Watu wanakunywa pombe sana. Maybe before we get into that, he can introduce himself.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. My name is Richard Frank, and as you know, as my co-host has just explained, today we want to discuss more on the impact of alcoholism in young families or large families. You know, growing up, what do you face? How does it affect you? And all the things that comes with alcoholism, the positivity and the negativity. I don't know if you have any positivity that comes with drinking alcohol, but eventually we'll find out, and be sure to comment below and let us know your story on matters alcohol.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
At least anybody in the society, at least there's someone who has had the impact of alcoholism,
Yeah.
pombe kwa familia. There's that impact directly or indirectly. At least you know somebody somewhere. Sana sana uko ushago.
True.
There has to be a bit of impact, negative impact on the side of a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I've seen a lot of this happening. An uncle, may not be directly, but someone I have seen struggle with alcohol seriously. Ina affect the responsibilities zake za familia and things like that. I don't know if this has happened to you directly.
To me, directly, alcohol, not really. I'm yet to, and I hope it doesn't happen because I've seen how badly it can.
So probably you have
behave
no
with
idea
people.
of any negative impact.
Negative. No, I've seen a lot. It happens all over. You see, even the celebrities that we have, people, you know, they start up so well, then eventually when they get into alcohol, when you
Yeah.
can't control it, you find someone out, they become in a situation that they fully depend on alcohol to participate. You know, there are those people who they can't do anything without taking at least a shot of whiskey or gin. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
they are
yeah.
really
Some
addicted to that.
that's it. Yeah, you have to take it for you to operate. Because if you don't take it, it becomes a point there you start even shaking. I've had such friends. They wake up early in the morning. Their number one target is they have to take something. You know, mara hangover, mara sijui toa, ati sijui kutaka kutoa hangover, sijui chapa shots mbili tatu. I don't know who came with that theory. I don't know if it works.
Unasikia sijui
But
tot, sijui
sijui
inaitwa
chapa
tot ama
tot,
nini.
sijui utoe nini. But I'll try it, by the way. I think I'll just have to try it and taste alcohol so that I know
Yeah, so
the feeling that comes with it. Because I find it really funny, but I'm not judging anyone who takes alcohol. You know, you have fun the way you have, but if you can do it responsibly, because actually, do you know the funny part? You see all those alcohols. I always see them advertising that don't sell it to person below the age of 18, meaning the government though that it's not right. Most of
for
people coming up,
underaged
yeah,
people, yeah.
underage people. And by the way, there's this time I saw this young family. They are on record. You know, these days that they're having fun. Then they give a little kid alcohol to taste. Then you hear the kid saying, "Hey, hii ni dawa. Sijui nimekunywa dawa ya dadi.
Anafikiria ni Panadol or something.
Ati hiyo ni maji ya dadi ni kali." You see such things. Huyu ni mtoto mwenye ashakuwa exposed to
Yeah.
alcohol. Imagine at that early age. Growing up, what do you expect to such people? You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know, but let me ask you. On your end, what do you think are the negative side of alcohol for a kid growing up? And do you think that if you're a kid and you experience that, do you have a possibility of drinking alcohol in the future?
Oh, yeah, possibly. I think not just me alone. There are
Yeah.
many other people, even those that are watching this show.
Yeah.
Alcohol has had a very, very negative impact and it's still having. So, fortunately or unfortunately, I've never tested alcohol.
Yeah.
And I feel I shouldn't test
Okay.
because of the experiences that I've seen people struggle,
All right.
alcoholism, their families. You know, somebody even fails to even pay school fees for their children,
Yeah.
or even build a proper accommodation for their families.
Yeah.
You know, struggling in an extent that you're unable to provide the basic needs to our family.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at that as a very, very negative impact of alcohol in our society.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not judging someone who is drinking, because out of the negatives, there are people who also do it responsibly.
Yeah.
And also a disclaimer to those who sell alcohol: this video is not made to discourage your product
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I feel that people need to start to drink responsibly.
True.
Yeah, if it's affecting you to a level where you can't send your kids to school,
Yeah.
ama you can't pay your rent, you can't start a business, you fight in the society, become a nuisance. By there in a village pale Ushago,
Yeah.
unapata mtu somebody takes his hoe, he's going to dig, he's going to cultivate, carries it properly, leaving his home, saying that he's going to cultivate in the garden as
Yeah.
traditionally the way
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But then shortly as he just takes the first corner, his friends are somewhere there seated already, taking alcohol. And just by seeing them, he joins them.
So
Packs
they're
his,
easily influenced, and
yeah,
they
puts
just
his
join
hoe
it.
aside, and the whole story of the day is done.
Yeah.
He
Let me
goes to
just confirm
drink
something. If you say he puts his hoe around, what do you mean by hoe? Hoe, do you mean the jembe or?
a jembe.
I'm
I mean,
struggling to understand.
no, ile ya kunini inaitwa aje in
ya
Kiswahili?
kulima jembe.
Ya kulima. Sasa jembe, sasa
Eh,
mtu anaweka jembe kando,
ya kulima aje. Unajua pia these terms you're using are now crazy to me. Unalima mtu ama
sasa utaelewa. So asi kulima mtu, kulima mtu ni the same as kupiga mtu.
kupiga mtu?
Ungesema kupiga mtu si kulima mtu, huwezi lima mtu, but unaweza lima shamba.
Acha utatuambia kwa unaweza
Yeah,
I
so
don't know where this conversation is going, but I hope you're still on track. What I just wanted to pull up, by the way, I took a look at the data of all the road accidents that occurred the year 2023.
now you are talking accidents on the road.
Do you know that 60% of them were caused by people who are
Drunkenness.
drunk driving? Imagine. That's why they always tell us don't drink and drive. Imagine 60% of all the accidents that took place in 2023 were caused by drunk drivers in one way or the other. Because you see, once you're drunk, you have impaired judgment, you can't see clearly, you're high, you can't coordinate yourself well. And that's when things become dangerous. More so when it's
You even
at
become
night.
weak as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
And you see, you don't only pose to cause a threat to your own life, but also to other road users.
True.
Yeah, because there are so many people there who are trying to be careful, but now since for yourself you can't, manage yourself at the moment, you get to pose a risk to many other people, right?
Acha nikuulize, pombe ni mbaya ama si mbaya?
Pombe si mbaya.
Pombe ni poa.
Sijasema pombe ni poa,
Wenye
lakini pia
wanakunywa ndio
nasema
wabaya.
sijasema wenye wanakunywa pombe ni wabaya.
Unajua kuna ile story niliona online ati huyo mtu si mbaya, lakini wenye
wamemzunguka ndio wabaya.
Wamemzunguka ndio wabaya. So probably alcohol is not bad, we say.
Wenye wamemzunguka ndio mbaya. Mjua ukiniuliza hivyo, hiyo ni it's like you asking me ati Ruto sio mbaya, wenye wamemzunguka ndio wabaya. Umeona venye amenyamaza. That's why I also decided I can't answer that question. Yeah,
so I've seen people struggle. And I want to say this direct to people who are watching, that for me, my own opinion is that people should regulate the quantity of alcohol that they consume.
Okay.
Because again, there's this normal one that you want to maybe feel tipsy, or maybe they need to associate with the rest. Ile nimepata challenge sana juu mimi nikaenda out na watu naitisha soda, mwingine ameitisha sijui county ama ni gani unakunywanga?
County mimi. County sana kunywa county.
Hizo products zingine hizo strong.
Yeah.
So unapata mimi nimeitisha soda, but there is a bit of low self-esteem because now I
like
feel
left out.
Yeah.
Somebody if you're in an environment,
you are a woman, sijui unakunywa sijui nini soda.
For them to say you're a woman, they might have seen something. Are you a woman? Let's confirm to us.
Umeona tukishaenda out TV wanajua huyo yake tu ni soda ama
energy drink.
Energy drink or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I want people to take it seriously because there is no way uta lose marriage yako because of pombe.
True.
To be realistic. True. Ama even your business or your workplace, you're unable to continue working because of drunkenness. Because hakuna boss atakubali staff wake akuwe anakunywa pombe. And also to us parents, hakuna haja, like sometimes you grow up, watching your father beating your mother.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Just because they are drunk. And then the following day, it's all about apology. Oh, Paul, I was drunk. This shouldn't be used as an excuse.
Yeah.
People need to be responsible enough and know that you are not just a man because you are drunk. You can be a man even when you are sober.
But again, That point is clear and it's sharp, but again, I've just realized that so many Gen Zs, the youthful generation right now, people don't mind, they party throughout the weekend, from Friday, they party on Saturday, Sunday, they party, they wake up on Monday, they take a shot, then they go to the office.
True.
Penye shida sana inatokea kwa ofisi, maji ya dispenser iwezi kaa. Watu wakisha kuja kama wamechapa sherehe the whole weekend, maji ya dispenser inashuka mbio mbaya sana. But you can't judge them because at the end of the day they deliver in their work. What's your take on that? Because naona mtu akichapa kitu yake na achape kazi, shida iko wapi
I
jamani?
think for Gen Zs ni more of influence.
It's influence, but they deliver.
Yeah, what they call peer pressure.
Okay.
Peer pressure. And of course I can tell you, sometimes you can't perform when you're drunk. That is to be realistic.
But
you cannot
I like
perform.
the fact that you say that sometimes.
Yeah, most times.
Yeah.
You cannot perform.
Not most times.
You cannot perform when you're drunk.
It's sometimes.
Yeah, but again, let's grow up raising responsible children. Let's not encourage them to drink. Until the time wamefika and they feel that they need to responsibly do it.
Of course, I don't think there's any parent who can encourage the kid to drink.
No, there are people even in the villages who even give their kids to test.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Maybe before tuendelee, what could be the real cause of people drinking to that extent? Where they become irresponsible? Because nikinteract na watu wengine wanasema the issue is that I don't have a job. There's an issue with money. There's an issue with I can some partner, my wife or my husband or things like that.
You see all that. I can summarize it and say, number one reason probably why someone drinks, number one is stress. All those things you said, having problem at home, this problem, you have stress. So you think that going to relieve yourself for that minute, that second, that hour being high, it gets you out of the illusion. Another reason why people drink, some people just drink because they have the money. Not because they want to drink, it's because the money is there. So someone might just want to drink because pesa iko.
Yeah.
Anashanga pesa itafanya kazi gani? Right? Na vile umesema, so then the other reason people, those who are addicted, because now it's difficult to control them because now it gets out of hand and that's how things flow up, right? Yeah, maybe just as we wind up, what's your takeaway, maybe advice that you can give on to
my final advice is that kama uko na issue, if you have an issue, it shouldn't be solved by alcohol because that's more of a temporary solution.
Okay.
If it's about a job, you can look for a job,
Okay.
If it's about what else, peer pressure, you can drop some friends.
Right.
And if you must, just like the way they used to tell us, you should abstain. But if you must, then use a condom. So if you must take alcohol, then probably you should just regulate the quantity. That's all my appeal to you. But there should be no reason whatsoever to encourage you to drink to an extent that you can't even control yourself. You're abusive, you're beating up your wife, become a nuisance to the society. I think it's not. Away from that, probably also the health impact to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Unasikia sijui ni kidney ama ni liver,
kidney,
whatever it is. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like to say something.
Yeah, my takeaway on this is that alcohol, when you decide to drink, respect yourself and respect other people who are around. Don't think that you are alone and you exist alone. There are so many people. You just take your gin, take your whiskey responsibly, make the right decisions. There is no one who will follow you up and ask you a lot of questions. But if you can't handle it, don't let it take you down. Stop immediately and walk away from it.
Thank you so much. Remember, you can be a man even when you're not drunk. So don't drink because you want to be a man. Kuna ile anasema nikikunywa I feel like I'm a man, I'm strong enough.
Mwanaume lazima achape shot.
So let's drink if we must. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.